Whew, gross. I just took a shot of something that was not good. It was nasty. I don't even have anything to like... Well, I have water back there, but water's not really a good chaser. Oh. How have you guys been? Contemplating putting on music or not. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe for you guys to hear, if you guys want to hear music. Dude, it feels like forever since I went live. Feels like it's been a long time. I can feel that shot in my stomach. Oh, it was gross. It's been a while since I took a shot of something. Ugh. It's nasty. I think, you know what it is though? I think it was really gross because it was super flavored. I think if I'm gonna take a shot of something, it's gonna be like not flavored. And that was really flavored. Nasty, nasty. My hair is trying to do something funky here. What's everybody up to? I don't see anything going on in... Anything interesting going on? Does not want to... Oh, I don't know why my chat is like... What's up, guys? My chat's being all weird. It wasn't like pulling up the chat. Hey guys, what's going on? I had to like pop it out. I don't know why I had to do that. Am I late? What did I miss? Not jack shit. I was talking about this shot I just took. It was not good. Whew. It did not taste very yummy. That's all I gotta say. I had a coming out story gone wrong. Oh yeah? Your coming out, was it your coming out story or someone else's? You should react to Elite or Atypical Season 4 trailer. I have to, I'm reacting to, I'm trying to think. Yeah, she should watch Elite. You know what, I've been getting a lot of requests to do Elite lately, so maybe. I'll put that on the list for sure. Currently, I just reacted to Sweet Tooth last night, which is good. I reacted to the first episode last night, and then I don't react to a whole lot of trailers. I did a trailer for Ratchet, and then I think I did a trailer for something else, and I don't remember what. Cobra Kai. I'm gonna do Atypical Season 4. I just don't know if I'm gonna do the trailer. I want to do a trailer for Dexter as well, because I'm gonna totally react to that. I can't wait for that one to come out. But have you watched 13 Reasons Why? I have, but I didn't finish it. So like I watched all of the seasons up until the last one, and I had to stop watching it because it was too depressing and I just couldn't do it anymore. I just, unless I want to be in kind of a depressed mood, that's the type of show that I'll watch. But usually if I want to be in a good mood or I want to watch something cheery other than my typical stuff that I watch, then I'll do that. Like, I'll watch those type of shows, but I don't usually ever really want to be in a depressed mood. It's very rare. Sometimes if I'm just like down on myself, then I'll want to watch something depressing, because then I'll know like, hey, something is like, there's something deeper than like what you're going through. There's something like far darker than what you could be going through right now. So that's kind of like, I guess, when I need a self pick me up when I watch 13 Reasons Why, but I don't usually get in that type of mindset. So I don't really like to finish watching that type of, I didn't finish watching it. It just kind of depresses me a little bit. It was your coming out story? Oh, tell me. I want to know. I mean, you don't have to tell me, but if you want to tell me, you can, because I'm interested in it. Hey, Cassidy, it's been so long. How are you? Your hair looks so pretty. Thank you. Well, I don't really care for it. It's too short. I hate that I cut it too short, but also I wanted to see what it looked like short, so I can't really regret cutting my hair super short, because I always wanted to know what it was gonna look like. So just turns out that I don't like it. But thank you, I appreciate the compliments. And I think I'm so used to putting it on one side. Like, I want to put it on this side, but because it's so short, it doesn't, like, I feel like it doesn't really look right because it's so short. I have a huge thing with my hair. Like, and so I like it when it's like long, and it's not long. It's short. I think it really suits you. Well, thank you. Thank you. It makes me feel a little bit better because I'm so self-conscious about it. But thank you. I missed you, Lucy. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I went live because I've been crazy busy. I know that I didn't record, or I didn't go live last week because I wanted to react to Motherland Fort Salem. So that's what I did instead of going live. And then, I also had my sister in town all last week. My sister was in town, so we hung out with them. I tried to catch up on stuff, but as you could tell, I think I only uploaded 2 or 3 things last week. So I didn't get a whole lot of stuff done that I wanted to. And then just a lot of work stuff has been going on, like my full-time job. A lot of stuff happening. So finally gets back to, going back into like my routine of doing stuff. Like the light, thank you. It was a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money for me. I'm super cheap. When I buy stuff for Evil QK, I can justify it because I'm like, oh, well, it's for the business. And I don't usually do stupid expenses. Like, they're usually at least something that like benefits. So it's a light, so it benefits something, and you guys get to see it. I wanted to do either a headset or a new monitor, but I'm like, but you guys don't get to experience those things. So, I don't like buying stuff for myself. I'm such a cheapo when it comes to stuff like that. But, anytime when it comes to Anna or like other people, I will buy just about anything for, but myself, I can't ever do it. I miss you too. How are you? How have you been? I'm just busy, man. Just busy. I've been trying to figure out how to better get a hold of my schedule so I can do my full-time job and like do this. This morning I reacted to Motherland Fort Salem. I'm going to edit it when I get done with you guys on here. I'm going to edit it. It'll go up on Patreon. The unedited version will go up tonight, and then the edited version will go up in the morning. And then the edited version will also go up on here tomorrow at noon. But yeah, it's just been crazy. It's just been crazy. My life has been so crazy busy lately. So many people were in town last week too, and then we went to a party, it actually ended up being very good. I don't like parties, but it wasn't too bad. Got to hang out with like friends that I actually liked, so I think that was a big thing. Kenna, how is she doing? She's doing good. She was like the other day, she goes, did you move over to YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, why? She goes, Oh. She's like, I tried to go on Twitch and you weren't there. And I'm like, yeah, I've been on YouTube for like a hot minute now. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah. That's just my sister, though. I think all of us are just so busy right now. And so, but yeah, it was just funny. I came out as non-binary, and rather than my family trying to understand, they tried to say I was wrong, and they practically told me, you can be you as long as it doesn't go against my beliefs. Oh, that's stupid. I am so sorry. That is stupid. Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Luckily, I have the benefit of having very supportive family members. I do have a couple of family members that are not so supportive because of their religious beliefs. So I think if it wasn't for their religious beliefs, they would be completely fine. And honestly, set aside, they do support us. I mean, they just think we're going to hell. But I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that. It kind of sucks, you know. Unfortunately, I feel like at some point, every LGBT person is going to end up going through something like that. So I'm so sorry. I just finished watching your reaction to The Haunting of Bly Manor and Hill House. Oh, thank you. I love that show. I really liked, I think my favorite one was Hill House, even though there was, well, I was going to say there's a lesbian at Bly Manor, but there's also a lesbian in Hill House because it's the sister. But I think Hill House I liked more because it was more spooky and like more stuff going on. Bly Manor was kind of just suspenseful. That's what it was. I think that's what the word I used too, was suspenseful. Bly Manor was suspenseful. Hill House was scary, and I loved it. As long as they do scary movies right, I love them. Like, as long as they have a storyline to them, I really enjoy them. But if they just are nothing but jump scares, then I'm like, eh. So, a lot of people disagree with me, though. A lot of people think that Bly Manor was the best, and I'm like, I mean, of course, I'm not going to sit here and say which one was better, but I enjoyed Hill House more, just based off of my opinion. You can only determine who you are and nobody else. Yeah. Yeah, she said it right. No one else, and that's another thing, too, bouncing off of what Lucy said. Like, no one else can tell you who you are. Only you know who you are, and they're not ever gonna be able. I know people say, like, take a step in my shoes, or however the saying is with the shoes and the, like, putting your feet in the shoes. I don't know how that saying goes, but like, it's stupid because no one will ever know how you honestly feel. Like, and it's not just like when you come out, it's with anything. No one honestly knows. Like, I have a friend who one of their family members is abusive. So they were abused, and I was having a conversation with her the other day, and I told her, and I was like, look, I've never been abused, so I can never say that I have ever been in your shoes because I never had a parent that abused me. So I can never say that. But, you know, and I just gave her some advice of, like, because people push her around because she's so nice, and it pisses me off. It, like, really pisses me off. I don't want to get into, like, a whole thing about it, but, like, when people are being nice, like, they get treated like shit because they're so nice, and people just, like, treat them like slaves. And so that was a whole thing. But, like, I was just like, I can't ever, like, understand how you're feeling in this situation because I've never been abused. I've been abandoned by a parent, but I have never been abused by a parent. So I could never understand that. But yes, Hill House is my favorite. I love Hill House. They're both excellent, by the way. I preferred Hill House too, primarily because it got my emotions more. I think so too. I think I just connected more with Hill House than I did with Bly Manor. I don't know. Bly Manor was really good, but I think you're right. I think I just had more connections with Hill House than than with Bly Manor. Put yourself in my shoes. Yes, that's the saying. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, put your feet in your shoes, sniff my shoes. I don't know. Whatever the hell the saying is. Like, because I never really understood it. So I think that's why anytime I heard it that first time, I'm like, that's stupid. Like, I kind of understand where it comes from. Just like the saying, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words may never hurt me. That is the stupidest saying ever. And that's alongside put yourself in my shoes, because I see where you're coming from in that saying. So the sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words may never hurt me. That's not true, because words can hurt you. It's just not going to physically hurt you, but it's going to hurt you mentally or emotionally, you know? And then so putting yourself in my shoes, yes, you can see what it's like on the outside, and you can understand, you can have that empathy, but if you are not going through that same situation, you could never understand the amount of, like, emotional distress, physical distress, like all of that. I could never ever say that I don't want to give advice on things that I've never been through. I can try to be a good friend and try to help people, but if I've never been in that situation, I don't want to give advice of like what I would do, because honestly, if I was then in that situation, what if what I gave my advice for, I didn't do? And then that makes me a hypocrite, you know? And so it's like it's a whole thing. I only really try to give advice on things that I've personally been through. Like, if she would have said my dad abandoned me, I would have been like, oh girl, let me tell you, because I've been there, okay? But for a parent to like abuse someone else, I can't say that I've ever been there, because I've never been abused by a parent, you know? But that's just me. I originally came out as bi, and when I did, I was maybe 14, and she told me I was too young to know, and yet pretty much my whole life, her and other family always asked if I was gay. Yeah, that's the same thing. I think you could, I think a lot of it, again, I could see both sides. Of course, I personally did not know I was gay until 21. When I grew up, I just thought that there was something wrong with me, because I could never make that type of connection with any guy, with any male. And so I just thought something was wrong with me, for the longest time. And then when I was 19, I came out as bisexual, and I think I was so afraid to come out as a lesbian that, I just didn't, even until like 2 years after I came out as bisexual, then I came out as a lesbian. And I think, like, I've went through so much. And so, it just took me a long time. It took me a long time to get there. And then you have other people, like my sister, who basically knew she was gay from like the beginning. And I could be wrong. She should probably talk about that, not me. But still, like, as far as I'm aware of, like, with the conversations that my sister and I have had, I believe she said that she knew for basically as long as she could remember she was gay. And then we have a friend and they're getting married to their partner, who she was like, the first time that she saw a naked lady or something, she was like 4 or 5 or 6, I don't know, some age around that, where she was super young, knew instantly that she was gay, knew it. And I'm like, for you to know that young is just crazy to me, because I never knew until I like thought about it. And once I was actually realizing that there wasn't something wrong with me, I was just not straight, was I just didn't know until I was older. But then after I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense, because I like had crushes on women and I didn't know. And like, I was so ignorant and blind to my own self. It is unreal. And still sometimes I can get like that with my personality. I'm a very, very stubborn and headstrong individual. that it's sometimes when I feel a certain way, I reject it and say, no, I can't feel that way. It's not possible. And it's not, I shouldn't be that way. So I'm not that way until I, you know, go through something or talk with someone or even talk to myself. Then I get to realize, like, okay, that's okay to feel that way. Or, you know, you can be that way. It didn't, it's still because God keeps putting or whoever keeps putting obstacles in my way, telling me like, hey, oh, you think it's this way. Oh, well, okay, here you go. Like, it's not that way. And you don't have to listen to everybody. And it's just like, whew, it's crazy. I didn't think I was going to go into this like type of rant. Sorry. Like, so you can know my sexuality, but I can't? Oh, yeah. No one else can know your sexuality except for you, honestly. And you can sit there and say, I'm straight and not be straight. And then you can say, I'm gay and then not really be gay. Like, you can say whatever the hell you want to and be a different way. Like, it's up to you what you tell people or what you don't tell people. You are who you are, and you know who you are. Well, I mean, I didn't know who I was, but that was because I was, you know, being stubborn and closed-minded during that time period. I have a mosquito bite on my arm. It's like smack dab on my tattoo right there, and it itches like a mother trucker. For me, I think I only came out as bi because I knew I liked girls, but had the mindset of, well, I could like a guy eventually. And so that was me too. I think because I think men are well, I think some men are attractive. I just don't want to be with a man. So I think that's what I was struggling with, because I was like, well, I find that man attractive. But then I think whenever I was having a conversation with some friend and they were like, yeah, but do you want to be with him? I was like, ew, no, I don't want to touch him. Like, you know? So then I'm like, kind of, and you have to like, we played one of those games where you say the first thing that pops into your mind. And I think when you don't think about it is, for me, that took a lot, because I'm always constantly just sulking in whatever answer I'm about to give. So if I immediately say something, then I know that that's the truth. And so that's just how I am. But yeah, I thought men were attractive. I just didn't want to be with a man. And then it was funny because I mentioned in the second Euphoria video where I guessed it when she said the imagination thing, and I said I know because I was in the closet for so long. And where was I going with this? Oh, imagination. So like I would imagine, I was like, well, I'm not gay, but I could see myself falling for a woman. And so I was like slowly, and I would like imagine myself with these, like I had like crushes on women, and I actually had crushes on women. I didn't ever really have a crush on a man. So in each job that I had, like, I hate that it had to be a job. Professionally, let me just say, like, I wouldn't cross those lines because like my career is very important to me. But in the past, when I've had some, when I like went through my career, there has been some attractive females. And so I'm like, they're really pretty. If they ever came on to me, I wouldn't say no. And so I think my imagination was like, well, what if? And then I think eventually I was like, well, if they ended up falling for me, then I'm not going to tell them no, because then I could see myself falling for them. And then, but I would never pursue that because I'm not gay, you know? And so that's kind of like where I was at with all of that, as long as I wasn't pursuing it, I'm not gay. But if someone else pursued onto me and I found them attractive and they were a female, then I wouldn't say no. And I think for the longest time, that's kind of where I was at, until I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I think they're attractive. I'm going to go for it. Not in a job, like professionally. I just mean like in general. If I find a female attractive, I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did with Anna. So, and now we're married. What's up, Jose? I keep getting into these tangents. I have a lot to say today. That's probably because I took that shot. Maybe I should take shots before I do go live all the time, because I feel like I don't ever have really anything to say when I go live. Although I haven't gone live in a couple of weeks too, so it's catching up with everybody. If I'm not straight, I'm out of line. Get it? Oh yeah. Dope light. Thank you. I've noticed that since I record, it kind of like flickers. But it's fine. Sometimes it doesn't do it. Like I was gonna say right now it's not doing it, but now it's started to go a little bit. But the only man I have ever found attractive is Matthew Daddario in Shadowhunters. I thought he was attractive. I just wasn't attracted, if that makes sense. True. Yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from on that. Because that's the same way that I am. I think a man can be attractive. Am I sexually attracted to them, though? No. And I think that's where I was confused for a very long time. But, and it's funny because, and speaking of being attracted to people, it's funny because my wife, Anna, is not my type. Really, is not, because my type, I always thought, was older women, which is why I freaking love General Alder. Love General Alder. And like every older woman that I've ever, like, not every older woman, but a lot of older women that I see that I can like potentially think is like lesbian, like Aunt Zelda from Sabrina. What's that? The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I had a crush on her because I was like, ooh, Aunt Zelda, though, because she's like a powerful older woman, and that is like totally my type, is powerful older women. And Anna's older than me, but she's not like older. Like when I'm talking older women, I'm talking like older, like mid to late 30s, even up. Hell, I don't care at this point. I don't discriminate. But it's just kind of funny because like Anna's not really my type yet. Like I'm with her, and I'm not Anna's type. Well, now I'm Anna's type. Now I'm Anna's type because I've realized that she has liked more people that look like me. Funny. But it was funny because whenever we started dating, she liked blonde, like super skinny women. And like I'm talking like stick figured women, like almost, because I'm not a stick figured woman. I'm curvy, okay? And I know that you guys see me sitting all the time, but I'm not. Sometimes you can tell, like in the different like ways that I sit or something, like you can tell that I'm wavy. And yeah, so that wasn't Anna's type until like, of course, when we met, and I think she obviously then she like fell for me. She was attracted to me like from the get-go, at least I hope so, because now we're married. But anyway, so it's just funny because we weren't each other's type, but then we got married, so, and we love each other. You should watch Warrior. What's that on? I can't wait for Warrior Nun. That's another one I can't wait for. Speaking of Anna, how is Anna? I miss her also. She's good. Staying busy. Again, like all of us are staying busy. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys because it's been a couple weeks. We got a notice from our HOA that was like, fix your yard or we're gonna like put a lien on your house and blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell? So we had to fix it. We did almost like $700 worth of yard work to our front yard the other day. And we didn't, oh my God, I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money. We didn't want to, but we had to. And it was just ridiculous. The amount of money that we had to spend to fix our front yard. It was crazy. And I'm pretty sure I know who ratted us out too. It was our neighbor. It was our neighbor. Pretty sure. Because everyone who like passed us was like, oh my God, I love your yard. It looks so great. Oh my God. And then our neighbor was like, much better, ladies. And we're like, the fuck did she just say? Like, it wasn't like, just, and I think you may have had to been there type of moment. Because when you see this, like, lady, like, just, like, walking down the street, and she's just like, much better, ladies. And we're like, what? So we're pretty sure it was her. Even though she's usually pretty nice, but I was like, I'm not even mad at her because I was complaining about our front yard, but I didn't want to immediately spend that much money, but I guess it had to be done. With the eyeballs, I'm kidding. Yeah. That's why I don't really do a whole lot of movement in different stuff. And in video, anyway, that's what I mean. It's a martial arts show. Huh. It's on HBO Max. Oh, cool. A lot of HBO stuff I end up watching on Amazon Prime. That sucks. Yeah, it does. That's a lot of money to spend on your front yard. I don't think I've ever spent that much money on like a lawn. I am so against HOAs. Well, Anna got mad because she wasn't like, she didn't even give us a week. She like, she sent out one letter and she's like, fix your yard, or we're gonna put a lien on the house. And then she sent another letter within a week saying, this is your last chance to fix your yard or we're putting a lien on the house. And I was like, she didn't even give us a week. In Florida, it's been storming every day. It's been storming like every day at some point. Usually it's storming whenever we come home from work, or it's been storming every weekend. We haven't had a minute. Luckily, it didn't storm like super bad this past weekend. So we were, that's whenever we did it. And so Anna wasn't aware that HOAs technically have ownership of your house. Because Anna was like, well, they can't just kick us out of our house. And I'm like, they can, though, because they technically also own the house. Because we own, we don't rent. We own. And so she didn't understand that technically an HOA has ownership of the house as well. So it's just kind of sucks. I mean, technically the homeowner, like if we somehow picked up our house and threw it in a different neighborhood, then they wouldn't own the house at that point. Because the way that the HOA works is like in the neighborhood is like what the HOA has ownership of. So if we picked up our house and like threw it somewhere else, like they wouldn't have ownership at that point. But like, that's what she didn't understand. So she was like, she got really mad. She goes, what's the point of owning a fucking house if you don't actually own a house? And I was like, you're telling me. Because like we even have to pay, and you have to pay an HOA fee. We have to pay an HOA fee every quarter. It's actually due like this coming up month in July. We have to freaking like pay that out quarterly. So it's not even like the HOA pays anything toward our house. We pay our house bill. And then we also have to pay HOA because we live in a nice neighborhood. So she just like doesn't quite get it, which I completely understand because I think it's stupid too. But, and we love this house and we're going to live in it for a long time. But also we want to, like, eventually, this isn't our forever home. Like eventually what we would like to do is get like 1.5 acres, 2 acres of land and then build a couple of houses on the same lot. And then we'll go from there. So, do you have a lot of iguanas in your area of Florida? I live in West Palm and see them all over. We have a lot of lizards in our area, but we don't have a whole lot of, well, Yes and no. So actually, we live from where our house is at the front of our house. There's a forest area that has like these telephone. I don't think they're telephone poles. What are they? The something else. They're not the telephone poles. They're like the bigger. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, there's those metal things there. Telephone poles. I don't know what they're called. So they can't build houses in front of our house. So that's a good thing. But there's like all woods back there. And so I know that we see a bunch of different stuff over there. So we don't see like a whole, we see a couple of iguanas here and there. We see a butt ton of lizards. That's what we do have, is a butt ton of lizards. We see those all the time. We get an occasional like hawk that comes into our yard sometimes too, freaks our dogs out. We live in a really nice neighborhood though. I'll give them that. They can't kick you out but stop you from selling, I think. Well, there's like, so the way that our HOA contract is, yeah, but also like, it's just not, there's a lot of restrictions to what we could and like what we can and can't do with the house. And long term, we don't ever want to be able to like have a lien on our house. And then we don't have to pay, we don't want to have to pay them extra money just to get the lien off. Like, we don't want to have to do all that. And I think eventually we might rent this house and not sell it. But I don't know. That's going to be a long time from now. We've talked about renting it out to people. But that's still a long time from now. That's so good, like 10, 15 years away. Because this house will be perfectly fine for 10 to 15 years at least. Bro, I'm telling you, hide your girl and your man. From what? I don't know if you talked about this before on stream, but would you like to have kids in the future? You don't have to answer if you don't want. No, I'm pretty much an open book. So yes, we want to have kids. Anna and I, we've talked about having 3 kids total, and we don't know. Shit, we could have 1 kid and then just say, fuck it, I don't want any more kids after this. But so we want to start the process on having we want to start the process of trying to have a baby around October time. That's kind of like the timeline that we ended up giving each other. It gave us enough time. That was like a couple of years to get financially ready, along with maybe doing some stuff that we know that we wouldn't be able to do around that time period. Like get tattoos, do different things, like do crazy stuff that you probably shouldn't do when you're trying to have like a baby and all of that. So we want to try to start having the process in October. And the first one is going to be like Anna's egg. I'm going to have 2 babies. This is the way that we would like for it to happen. Of course, it can totally be not. It can, of course, change because, you know, life. But the way that we would like for it to happen is that have Anna's egg implanted into me. Well, technically, you know, of course, they would make the embryo and then they'll implant it into me, and then I'll have her baby first, and then the second baby would be my egg, and then the third one we would like to adopt because Anna is adopted. So we would like to adopt the third. So theoretically, that's what we would like to have. I'm not opposed to having like more or less. It just kind of depends on, again, life. So I just want kids. So, you know, fingers crossed that that it all works out that way. But you never know. So, yeah. And Anna's and I's situation is a little bit different. It's not your typical relationship that we have. It is very different. I haven't ever openly said it on stream, like the type of situation that we have. I gave enough like hints to where I'm sure people just already know by now. And we've been in our situation for about a year and a half. And I wasn't sure if I knew eventually I wanted to tell people, but I wasn't sure on like how or when I was going to tell people. Not that I care about what other people think, because I don't, but I just wasn't ready to be open about it. It's a little bit better now than it was a year and a half ago. So I don't know. I just don't like to be judged either. So it's not like I give a shit about what people think, but I just don't want to listen to people's judgments. So that's another thing. But I mean, I guess I could say it. I guess I could say it out loud now, but because things have been different. But I guess now's a good time as any. It's still technically Pride Month, right? I mean, so Anna and I have been together for 3.5 years, and we've been married for a little over 2 years. And it was right before our 1 year anniversary. It was it was right before our 1 year anniversary, because it was like March of last year. Anna, so we had just bought our house. And I mean, it was that same month. It was either March or April, because we bought the house in March, and it was either in March or in April, because it happened so quickly as soon as we bought the house. And Anna came out as polyamorous. Well, when I grew up, I wasn't, I guess because, like, the type of environment that I grew up in, technically you were supposed to be straight. Technically you're supposed to be a white male. Technically you're supposed to be straight. Wait, did I already say straight? Oh yeah, I think I did. Technically you're supposed to be a straight white male, monogamous, pretty much as long as you were, if you were that, then you were perfectly fine. You were never going to get judged in your whole life, right? That's the environment that I grew up in. If you were a woman, you're going to get judged. If you're an Asian male or a Hispanic male or anything other than what I just listed, that's what the environment that I grew up into. I grew up around sexist people, judgmental people, homophobic people, and I grew up in that environment, and I think that's why I was so close-minded for a long time. Just because it was a nature versus nurture thing, and eventually nature won, of course. But so anyway, I'm digressing. When I grew up into that type of environment and Anna came out as polyamorous, I took it really hard. This was right before, it was a couple months before I started doing Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. I took it really, really hard. Just because, you grow up thinking you're supposed to be with one person. I mean, really, I'm a woman, so I'm supposed to be with a man. And I'm supposed to be with a white man because I'm white. And interracial marriage is wrong, which we're in an interracial marriage anyway. But, I just took it really hard. And I think it was mainly because, I thought that, my mom was like, you should grow up thinking that you're the only person meant for someone. Like, you're gonna get you need to get special treatment from that one person, and they shouldn't give special treatment to anyone else. And I think thinking that way, it was really damaging. So it was very difficult. And I honestly thought that our marriage may have been over, because how could I be with someone that wants to be with more than one person? And I always said that I was never going to be with someone that wanted to be with more than one person. Like, that's just always what I said. So, because I was never going to get cheated on, even though I have been cheated on. Not by Anna, but, like, I was never going to go through that again. I was never going to get cheated on again. I was never going to, like, be with someone who didn't honestly want to be with me and only me. And so when she came out as polyamorous, I took it really hard. And I suffer from really bad anxiety. And so my anxiety flared up. I lost 20 pounds in 1 month. Because when my anxiety flares up, I can't taste I lose my sense of taste, and then I can't hold down any food anyway. So I'm like, well, if I can't taste food, I might as well not eat it. Anytime I eat anything, it would just instantly, like, and not to be vulgar or anything, but like, I just couldn't hold down food. And, so I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight. It was a couple months. It's still a struggle every single day. Of different things that we have to go through as a couple, not just like as in myself. So I love my wife very much. So I'm getting to the point of like, you know, how I got through it, or, you know, whatever. And it's not something that you should get through either, but this is just like my personal experience. During the time period of when she came out as polyamorous, we had one of her friends come and stay at our house during that time period, and she had liked her. Whenever she was at the house, I was not very nice. I was super mean and called her not nice names, kicked her out of the house, and I turned into this person that I didn't want to be. Like, I never wanted to be that type of person. I don't like hurting people's feelings. And I think I just got so scared that my marriage was over, and I got so threatened that I just turned into this person I didn't want to be. And every day I had to like push through it, and eventually I got to the point of it's okay, you know, and I am with my wife because I love my wife. I love her for who she is. I never, when I was going through that entire time, never wanted her to be something that she couldn't be, that she didn't want to be. So, I never asked her to change. I never asked her to be monogamous. Just because I think when you are a part of the LGBT community and other communities too, like, you don't want to ask someone to be something that they're not, just because you know how it feels to be something that you're not. And so I just wanted to make sure I was going to be happy. So it wasn't so much like, like she's not a bad person, and she's just being who she is supposed to be and who she wants to be. And, but and then that makes me like, and it made me think like, what am I? Am I monogamous? Should I try to be polyamorous? Should I, try different things to see what's going to make me happy? And so ultimately I, you know, whenever she came out as polyamorous, we decided, okay, like, our relationship, let me back up a little bit. So I love my wife more than anything. So that's why I stayed with my wife, because it didn't make sense for me to end my marriage when I was so happy in my marriage. And I'm super happy in my marriage. It does not make sense for me to get rid of that happiness and my love for someone because they were trying to be someone that they wanted to be. And they still loved me. She still loves me. I still love her. What is it like? Why do I need to end a marriage because I'm not what everyone else thinks my marriage should be? No one else is in our marriage except for her and I. Not even her girlfriend. Her girlfriend's not in our marriage, you know? So we decided that whenever she came out as polyamorous, that obviously our relationship was going to be different. Ultimately, pretty much when people ask, we say we're in an open marriage because I don't really, well, for one, like, unless we actually care about explaining it to someone, like, we're just, you know, like, we're not going to try to explain the whole ordeal unless, like, we want to. So Anna is polyamorous, and she has a girlfriend, and ever since that time period when she came out as polyamorous, they have been together now Anna's in here. Yeah, I'm talking about it now. So they've been in a relationship for like a year and a half, and pretty much ever since that time period. And I can be with whomever I wish to be with if I want to be with someone other than Anna, other than my wife. And I tried, and it's not that I'm ever gonna like reject being with someone else either, because I don't know. Like, I don't know what that's gonna be. It's pretty much we're just living life to the fullest and being happy, and we're happy with each other. So if myself or if Anna wants to be happy with an additional person, then so be it. So that's pretty much where we're at. But I will tell you, it's taken a lot for me to get to this point. It's taken a lot, obviously, because it's like a year and a half later, and I've been on stream and live and like whatever, or I guess that's the same thing. I've been live and recording and like talking to people for so long about different things, and like other people would tell me, they're like, oh, hey, before I even decide, because this is the first time I'm talking about this, people would tell me, they would ask me about like what they should do if they wanted to be with another person. And I've never once said that her or myself were in another relationship with someone else. So, but now I think it is kind of relieving now that I'm just kind of like talking about it, and I'm like open about it and everything. And I think it's because it's getting better like day by day, and we go through different things. Like, we've been through so much shit already. Like, I told my people at work the other day about our situation, because I really care about my coworkers, and like me and my coworkers, we talk about a lot of things, like, you know, so we have that type of relationship that I can like tell them anything. So I went ahead and told them about our situation, and they were like, oh, good for you, honey, but like, I don't know if I would be able to be in your shoes, like, again with the shoe thing. But I'm like, well, like, what does it matter? If you love your partner, I don't want them to be with someone, like, be something that they're not, or, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've been going through for the past year and a half. It's a lot. So we're just living our life. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Thank you for being so open. Well, you're welcome. Yeah, that's the only thing that I haven't ever really been open about, but I told people like, hey, I'll be open about anything except for like about talking about my marriage, which I mean says a lot, because I'm like, you're gonna be open, but you're not gonna talk about like a huge part of who you are. Like, that's not really open. But now I have. So that's where I'm at. As long as you both as long as you both love and respect each other, I don't see the problem. Oh yeah, no, I know. I get you. Yeah, in the same boat. So you know, I'm sorry. My intention wasn't for you to open up like this. No, you're fine. So I've been thinking about it for a while, like trying to see if I wanted to come out like on stream, and it wasn't like I didn't want to come out about it on stream. It was just because I didn't want people to be mad or upset with Anna, and that's where I was at. I don't want anyone to ever be upset with Anna. So that's where I was coming from. Because I know, and no matter what, other people are going to be negative. People are going to be negative no matter what. But if I could try to prevent it for as long as I possibly could, then like that's just kind of where my mindset was at. But I know also hiding it isn't the best thing to do either. So eventually it was going to come out one way or the other. So I might as well just come out with it myself, you know? But yeah, our marriage is different. So anyway, what works. Glad things are good. Yeah, well, I mean, things have been good for a long time. And we keep, Anna's and I's marriage keeps getting better and better. I think because, and we're even doing like, just, we're just doing better and better. I think it's just because like we are such a strong couple and we've been through so much, that honestly, I think our marriage could withstand just about anything. And that's a good feeling to have. Like, we have been through some shit. And it's funny because sometimes whenever we think about it, like, we'll have conversations about, like, some of the hard times that we've been through. And, like, anytime a situation comes up, we're like, oh, no, do you think we'll be able to get past it? And I'm like, honey, we've been through so much shit already. Like, honestly, you really don't think we're going to get past it? But, yep. I'm telling you, bro, hide your man and hide your girl. I'll take them both. Okay, Mark. But yeah, I mean, I guess today's the day to do it, right? Because today's the last day of Pride Month. So might as well come out with everything. And her girlfriend was in last week as well. That's another person who was in last week. So, my sister was in town. And then her girlfriend was in town. And my parents met her. So that was a cool thing. It was different. It was different, for sure. My parents are very, like, good, though. They're very awesome. They're very open-minded, so. You know. They just cool. They cool like that. But she's a good person, too, by the way. Sometimes I'm not a good person. Like I said, I've said some horrible things. But I didn't want to be that person. I didn't ever want to get to the point where I was calling people by, like, rude names, and it was bad. It was bad. I was not a nice person. It's just whenever I get, like, stuck in, when I get backed into a corner, I will do anything to get out of that corner. And that's kind of scary sometimes. So, yeah. But, you should do a reaction on Nuke's top 5 videos. I don't know what that is. She-Ra is so LGBT. Dude, I am watching She-Ra right now. I mean, obviously not right now because I'm live. But, like, I watch it. I didn't watch it today because I reacted to Motherland Fort Salem this morning. Because normally I watch She-Ra in the morning. Whenever I have, like, I call it my coffee moment. And then whenever I'm getting ready, that's what I'll do is I'll watch She-Ra. Or I have been watching She-Ra. I'm on the last season right now. I think season 2 is the last season, right? I've been watching season 2. And then, because usually whenever I have my coffee moment, I'll watch a show that I've already watched, or I'll watch a show that's like 20 minutes long, so that I like can I'll sit in here, I'll sit on the couch and like watch the TV while I'm having my coffee moment. And I like to like watch a full episode and then go get ready for work. Go get ready for the day. But well, as long as I'm being completely open and honest, does anybody else want to ask me any questions? I think that's about it now. I think I've been just about honest with everything for the most part. Nah, it's season 5. What's season 5? She-Ra doesn't have 5 seasons. Does it? No, it doesn't have 5 seasons. You're not talking about She-Ra, are you? I thought She-Ra only had like 2 seasons or something. Let's look. Episodes and info. Oh, you're right. Oh my God, you're right. It has 5 seasons. Why did I only think it had 2 seasons? What is wrong with me? I apologize. You are completely right. Well, that makes me feel better. I don't know why I thought it only had 2 seasons. I think I had it in my mind that was like, because everyone told me to watch She-Ra so bad, and they were like, I can't believe it got canceled. And I'm like, because they were like, it was so short. I don't know why I only thought it had 2 seasons. Well, that makes me feel better. Now I still have a little while to watch it until it like ends. But bro, She-Ra has 5 seasons. I know, okay? I said, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't know a lot of stuff, okay? Okay? I'm trying to think of what else you got. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? I'm going to have to get to editing this video in a few minutes, though. So it won't be too much longer before I got to bounce off, but I'm trying to think of some other stuff that happened while I didn't go live these past couple weeks. I don't think anything that was like entertaining anyway. When will your reaction to episode 2 of Motherland come out? Tomorrow. The up tonight. I'm gonna edit it tonight, and then when I upload it to Google, for Patreon, when I upload it to Google, the Google Drive, it takes a while for Google to process it. So the unedited version is already actually ready to go, but I'm gonna edit it first, and then because I do the unedited version first because it's so much quicker, and then go through, edit the video, and then whenever I'm done editing the video, pull screenshots from that video, make a thumbnail, and then I'll go ahead and then upload the unedited version. And then once the edited version is good and processed on Google Drive, then I'll upload that. So unedited version will go out tonight. The edited one will go out to Patreon tomorrow morning, and then the edited part will go out tomorrow at noon. Normally, the way I like to do things is Patreon have at least 24 hours, if not more time on Patreon before I upload it to YouTube. But I have to get back on track. I've been so behind on stuff since I had family in town this past week. But I've also started watching Sweet Tooth. So Sweet Tooth will go out onto Patreon tomorrow. I was trying to think of what I was doing with that. Tomorrow. And then it'll either go up on YouTube Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. Have you seen South of Nowhere? No, I haven't. I think I've heard of it, though. Motherland is the best show, that is all. I love Motherland, Fort Salem, love it. I don't know if I would call it the best show because I've seen a lot of TV, but it's very good. It's a very good show. Honestly, if they make Tally and General Alder a couple, like a legit couple, then I will say that that is the best show ever. Hands down, I will do it. Just because that would be my favorite ship of all time. Because it's a young girl with an older, powerful woman. That's what I always wanted to be. A young girl with a freaking older, powerful woman. So yeah, I'm gonna be waiting for your elite reactions. I can do a poll. I'll do a poll and see how many people want me to do elite reactions. Did you ever watch Sex Education? No, I didn't. I know what it is, but I've never watched it. Ever think about reacting to movies? I have. I actually have a separate YouTube channel for movies that only has one movie review on it. But I haven't done movies in a while because I need to like catch up on so much stuff. I think once I'm able to like work from home, I will do more movies. I just haven't been able to do a whole lot of I've done a couple of movies on Patreon. I have not edited those movies. I edited one movie. I edited I Care a Lot because I was going to try to upload it onto YouTube and it was a big pain in the ass, so it didn't happen. So there's actually an unedited and an edited version of I Care a Lot on my Patreon. I have a list of like movies that I want to react to, but I just haven't had the time to watch a movie. So soon. I am older and powerful. Yes, honey, you are older and powerful. Thank you, baby. You missed it because I was talking about like how we weren't each other's type technically whenever we first started dating, and then but of course that didn't stop us because we ended up getting married. Imagine a world where people can do what they want, be who they want, love who they want. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be, but sadly that would never happen. The world has to have some sort of balance of hate and love. There always has to have that balance. You can't have one without the other. Unfortunately. It's just the way the world works. I did watch The World to Come. I want to watch that so bad. I want to watch it, but I'm like, I know I should react to it. So I haven't watched it yet. And then there's another one. It's called like, is it Hammerite? Where it's got Saoirse Ronan and Kate Winslet. It's another one, older woman with a younger woman. I want to watch it really bad. But again, I want to react to it, so I just haven't had the time to watch either one of those. I'm surprised that Kate Winslet like ended up like doing a movie like that, but I'm like, shit, I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. But I want to. I want to watch it. I'm trying to think of some other stuff that I have going on. There's a couple other things that I've like put like on my list that I would like to like get for the business, but nothing that's like, see, I knew when I needed and when I wanted to do an upgrade for stuff, like when I got an upgrade for my camera, when I got an upgrade for these professional lights, when I got an upgrade for the mic and the arm and the laptop and like all this stuff. But once I actually ended up getting all those upgrades, now I'm like, what now? So then I got like another light and then another light and then wall shelves and like, so it's like a lot of little things. And then I got a fridge. Well, actually I got that fridge as a gift from me wife. That was for our 2-year wedding anniversary from Anna. And then I got the dresser to sit under, like to have the fridge sit on top of. There's food on top of the fridge right now too, because we just ate in here before I went live. But yeah. But I'm thinking like, what's the next upgrade? And I know that you guys have talked about, like, for me getting a new monitor, which that'll help me, but it doesn't help you guys. Or like a new headset, which again, help me, but it won't help you guys. And I can see, like, my monitors are fine. They're not ugly or anything. They're just not the super nicest monitors. And same, I have like the little Apple earphone or headphone, earphone things or whatever you want to call them, and they're fine. I can hear. It's not the best audio, but I can hear it. Will Anna ever make a guest appearance on your channel? She actually has a couple of times. Not very many times. She's come in here once or twice, though. She doesn't really like being on... It's so funny. She doesn't like being on a video camera, but she'll take photos all day long. You can check out her Instagram. She tells people about her Instagram. Her Instagram is Holt Up. Wait a minute. But she'll take photos all day long. But she doesn't like to be on a video camera. I don't know what it is. She's been on here a couple of times, though. There was one time where we started the live stream as her being on here, and then I came in later. I like stories, blah. I like stories where the roles are flipped and the man is the damsel. I know, isn't that pretty cool? Like, I remember the movie Rapunzel. And that was the first time where he was like the damsel, and I thought that was kind of funny. That was cute. Yeah, you don't see that very much, because it's always like the woman has to be the damsel in distress. But Hercules did it too. Technically, she wasn't the damsel in distress, because she even said, "I'm not a damsel in distress." So I like that she was kind of like that too, Meg, from Hercules. Because he was like being all like, "I'm gonna save the damsel, blah, blah." And then like she ended up like taking care of her shit by herself. I mean, at one point she kind of was a damsel in distress, but for the most part she wasn't. I hear her walking around downstairs, but sometimes I'll ask her if she wants to come in here, but she's like, nah. So I'm like, okay, awesome. All right. We got a couch in here too, so theoretically she could just like lay on the couch and be like on the stream, but she doesn't ever really want to. That's fine. Mulan a little also? Yeah, true. She wasn't ever really a damsel, and sometimes her partner was. I'm trying to think. There's actually a couple of shows and movies where the guys are damsels, and I think that they're pretty awesome. You know what I want to see in more shows is gay men. That's what I want to see. I see a lot of lesbians in shows nowadays, luckily, even though we deserve more lesbians, but in different ranges of lesbians. I think that's why I want a TALDER, like, so bad. Like, because that's not really something that's been done a whole lot, is a younger and an older female couple. I've seen an older and a younger male couple a couple of times, but I've never seen a young female and an old female. Like in a show, like in a popular show. There are, I'm sure, a few out there, but not any that like automatically pop into my head from like a popular show. But alrighty, guys. Well, I should probably wrap things up. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about before I end up jumping off and editing this video? The sooner I get off, the sooner that the one video goes up on Patreon. Because, like I said, the unedited version is good to go. The first occurrence of the damsel on the railroad tracks trope was likely a man tied to a track rescued by a lady in a play. Huh. I didn't know that. Also, the female bartender in She-Ra is very muscular, which is a little bit different. I kind of like it. That's why I like She-Ra, because it's like meant for kids, really. But you see so many different characters in it that are gay, and I'm like, yes. And like different types. So I love what's her name? Not Catra. Who's the one that like is the half lobster, half... What's her name? I went blank for a minute. I know what her name is, but I went blank. Shit, what is it? Are you guys gonna beat me to it? Hold on. I'm about to find it. No, I didn't want the actual names of the... Hold on. I might beat you guys to it. Oh my god, just find the fucking cast already. And not Entrapta. Scorpia. Scorpia. That's who. Duh. Because, I mean, she's a scorpion, not a lobster. I was thinking because I remember the claws. Scorpia. Yeah, exactly. Scorpia. Because she's a scorpion, not a lobster. Because I forget that her tail is there all the time. But I have a huge crush on her because I think she's like the coolest, and she's buff and like cute and like overprotective and like all that. So she's like my favorite character. She's definitely my favorite character on the show. And then there's other LGBT characters in there too that are pretty awesome. But anyway, it was definitely a fun, very open stream that we just had. But I guess now if you guys ever want to know more information, then I guess just let me know. Because now I am officially an open book. Because now I've said everything just about. Unless I just have forgot to mention it. Pretty much. But I'm going to jump off here, going to edit this video, Motherland Fort Salem, so that you guys can have it go up, and then get ready for some other stuff, and then